Hello, guys. Welcome to the Blitzing Global podcast. I am Lucy,
And I'm Eugene.
and welcome to a quick last-minute pod because we had a BSG Rome final.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling, Eugene?
I'm good. I'm good, Lucy. I'm literally buzzing like on the behalf of Jasmine Paolini. See.
Listen, see,
Yeah.
Forza,
What was that?
Queen of
But no, what a run,
Italy.
man. How are you doing?
I am great. The clay season is getting better and better.
Yeah, you said that the last pod and yeah, you're
Yeah, I was
repeating it
like,
again.
exactly. Rome
Mm.
Open, I enjoyed it. A lot better as well. Both men and women, should I say, or should I? Oh, I'm going to tell you this live on the podcast. You're not aware of this, actually.
Go on.
So I
Breaking
made
news.
breaking news. So I made a TikTok on our account, and Cinefans cooking me,
No way. Are you being for real?
cooking
Lucy.
me. No, hear
Because
me out.
I've seen the
My tweet.
no, I saw the Paolini Goff preview
Right.
TikTok.
So I
Yeah.
made a quick TikTok and was basically saying how Sinner's about to make it to the final. He's one match away from winning the title. And yet everyone wants to talk about just how like the WTA is.
God.
The problem is Sinner fans are so sensitive, they didn't even realize that I was actually using him as a barometer to basically say this guy is so good. He easily came back and is already in a
Yeah.
final. And then but I made another video explaining myself, and some people did understand, some people didn't. But it's all right, man. 30K views,
I was
mad,
gonna
mad
say it's getting the
engagement.
engagement.
Listen, hey, Sinner fans, thank you.
You sound
Thank
like you
you.
sound like my editors at work. Listen, if it's doing numbers, that's all that matters. Like
Period. Period. But let's focus on the ladies, the women's finals. Coco Gauff, Jasmine Paolini. Wow, wow, wow,
incredible.
wow.
Absolutely insane.
Where do we like let's start with the match, how it went. So like first of all, number one, the rallies, especially that first set, amazing. Even though there was some errors here and there, like the rallies, like the first couple games, they were hitting, hitting,
on
hitting,
just
hitting,
just on
hitting.
that, who do you think came out? Because I thought because I was working during because I couldn't pay full attention, annoyingly. I had it
Mm,
on a screen.
yeah.
And me, Lucy, I thought coming in,
Hmm.
Paolini would have been the more nervous
I'm with you.
of the two. But for me, it was Coco. Coco made the slowest start. Like she got broken first. I know she then broke back immediately
She
after.
did.
But I still felt like Paolini looked the more comfortable, considering the weight of expectation and like obviously the crowd are behind her. Like, but yeah, just on that, like who did you have in terms of being the favorite going in?
I actually had Coco, especially because of the way that she was playing
Yeah.
against in the semi-finals against Qin Wenzheng.
What a match
And
that was. Her longest ever match.
longest ever match. They were there for time. Like it was a thrilling semi-finals. Um and because she already reached a final in Madrid, I was like, okay, yeah, she should feel more comfortable, with Rome. Like it's a back-to-back final and so what. So I did not think the pressure would get to her. I thought she'll feel a little bit more comfortable. But on the TikTok that I made, the one thing I did say is, although Coco is my favorite, by watching Paolini's matches, the only thing that could stop her from that title was the errors. Because
Mm.
when the things about Paolini, when she's locked in, is different. And I'm with you and that's another reason why I thought also Coco would probably win because I was like, I don't know if Paolini can deal with that pressure because not only she's reaching the final, this was the first time she made it past like the second round at
Yeah.
Rome.
Yeah.
So it's your first
One
time,
more than one match.
literally, literally. So that's another reason why I was like, I don't know if Paolini be able to deal with that type of pressure, but she reminded me that she's the type who's just enjoying her. She's the definition of I enjoy my job. I'm here to do my
Yeah.
job. I'm clocking in. I'm smiling. Even the final, she was smiling about when she was making mistakes. She was free. She was confident. Like she really. I think she worked a lot on herself mentally for this match, more than
Like
even
the,
physically.
there's a word you just used, which I think is very important, free. Like she just played with freedom. Like, and that is literally Jasmine Paolini. And we obviously we've been saying that for the past what 3 4 years, but obviously
Louder.
last year was the breakout year. But yeah, this year now, and this is what I'm most proud of, Lucy. Even though people say, "Oh yeah, she made a slow start and well in singles," I was like, she's winning matches. It's just the matches she's losing, they're not like she's not getting blown away. Like they're close matches that she's losing. But
Thank
now
you.
she starts to pick up form and momentum. And yeah, this Rome run, like to say that I was like blown away, I was blown away, but then at the same time, I was like, bro, this is Jasmine Paolini. Like you should
Paolini.
not be surprised.
I feel
Like,
like the reason why we were is because it was literally she leveled up like
yeah,
crazy. She played well the other tournaments, which obviously, I mean, the other rounds, which makes sense. She made it to the final, but she played like this is a 1000 final. I'm bringing my A game. It was a complete switch. So I
yeah,
think that's why it was shocking from that aspect. It wasn't a thing of like it's shocking because we didn't believe in it or we didn't think that she could do it. It was just the level that she just upped it to was just so great to see.
yeah.
Um, yeah, man.
For me, especially the second set as well, because the second set
Whew,
she blew Coco away, man,
she
and
blew Coco
that
away.
was
And
not that was not on the cards.
this is
Like,
what I'm saying. The thing is, throughout the match, Paolini was just in control of the match.
yeah,
She was in
completely.
control and she was so fast. She was so fast. Like Coco did not even have enough time to think about the next point, the next strategy, because a lot of times when Coco was hitting, the whole other side of the court was open. But because of how fast Paolini's hitting back, I don't think Coco was even able to grasp
Yeah.
like, yo, like I can hit this side. So like
The
literally
court coverage of
the
Paolini.
court the court cover and that's the thing. The coverage of Coco is
Two great
great.
athletes, yeah.
Great. That's the thing. They're both great athletes, but Paolini was just in control. Like this was her match. Like it was, I think on top of Coco not being there really in her head in the match, Paolini being on job just made it 10,000 times like harder
Yeah.
and stuff. Um like that second set, it was very hard for I think the first set she was trying, even the second set, to be fair, there were times where I still had hope because she saved some set points and some match points for the last round. You get what I mean? So I was like, okay, maybe she'll be doing the same thing again here, like. And there were times where she was complete. I think the second set, at one point, she was completely down, like 3-0 or something like that, 3 games down, and she came back up. Like she still tried, but the level that Paolini played was just
Yeah, no,
crazy.
it's
So
superb.
it seems like Paolini will be a danger for Coco on clay because it's the second time that she has beaten Coco on clay. I just thought Stuttgart, was still the beginning and everything. So that's why I didn't ignore that. I did acknowledge that, which I mentioned even on the TikTok where I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
Coco leads the head to head, but the last match, Paolini bagged it. And not
Or,
only she
or
bagged it in singles, she bagged it in doubles. How greedy,
back to back
Paolini.
as well.
How greedy.
Defending champs from last year. It's
Yeah,
an incredible achievement. And I was thinking
incredible.
as well, like on my way back home, I was like, they say, oh, if you want a job done properly, like do it yourself. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to spin it. If you want a job done properly in Italy, trust Jasmine Paolini because the other Italian didn't get it done. I'm sorry. Um, that's not, and again, that's
Respectfully.
I'm playing. It's a
Respectfully.
huge achievement both from Yannick Sinner to reach the final first tournament back. That is a joke. But
That is that we'll talk about that. But I
yeah,
think what I love when players play in their home countries and they make it that far. Like I get everyone how they feel about the Italian crowd, how they feel
yeah,
about the city situation. But if we put everything aside, I think it's extremely dope that we had an Italian women's finalist, an Italian doubles women's finalist, and an Italian finalist. Like it's just really great to see. And I think what I love the most is that when I was looking at the crowd during the women's final, it was packed. It was packed,
I
and
love that comment you made as well, and I think there's an image that we posted that depicts that. So when Paolini's talking on the stage, and you can
yeah,
see the stadium is packed out.
packed out. It is packed out, and that's why I'm saying like I wish people saw it in that aspect, like how it is, and like the impact of that. Like, yeah, I get
Huge.
how everyone feels and everything, but look what it does when people are playing their country. The people are gonna like, show out. There was obviously even fam today for Senna, people were but people with no tickets that were standing, the staff, everyone was looking. If you were looking for staff outside and you were in that room open, yeah, I bet you struggled because everyone was locked in. But it's beautiful to see. I love when tennis, I love when sports in general brings people together. It's a little bit like yesterday where there was the Crystal Palace and Man City. Um
Go on, Lucy, you know the football knowledge or soccer. Go
Eagles.
Up the Palace, yes.
But it
And
was
also shout out to
nice.
Chelsea.
Oh yes, you're a Chelsea guy. Sorry, yeah, shout out Chelsea,
Serena,
I guess.
Mr. Ohanian is an investor in the women's team. Let's
Oh
go.
yeah, that's true. But yeah, I love when sport bring people together. Like that's one thing. The one thing I love about football is the way it brings people
Yeah,
together. Like it's
definitely.
really nice. And it was nice seeing that in tennis for the women's final. So yeah. Ev-
I do want to talk about Paolini's run though, because there
yeah.
was a match that I did pay a lot of attention to because I watched that from start to finish. Because
Hmm.
for me, that this was probably the toughest match. But it was the toughest match of the run. It was the only
Oh
match that
yeah,
went to it was the only match that went to three sets against Diana Schneider,
oh.
the
Mm.
13th seed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Lucy, the crowd, I think the crowd are a bit out of line. Sorry, there's no other way to put it. Like they were a bit out of order, I thought.
You're
Um,
you're chatting to the wrong person, and you know that already.
so we're gonna go back and forth on
We're
this,
gonna go
yeah.
back and forth on this. We're gonna go back and forth on this.
So so
What?
so so
You
my
go. You
my
go.
my thing is, yeah, Schneider's what, 20? She's a young girl.
Okay.
Is she even 20 or is she 19? I'm just Googling. She's 21. Okay, she's a young
Mm-hmm.
girl.
Mm-hmm.
And people are saying, oh, like she should be used to the kind of the animosity in the crowd because she's come from like college. She played college tennis. So like
Okay.
that's a thing in like college tennis. Like the
Mm-hmm.
crowd are on your back and like you kind of have to
Mm-hmm.
push through.
Yeah.
But Lucy, it was tough to see how bothered she was by it. Like she was clearly agitated. And
Mm-hmm.
like at one point, I don't want to say she was crying, but she did look like she was on the verge of tears, like when she
Mm-hmm.
was sat down at one point, because that match again was up and down. I think she was leading by a couple of breaks in the second set. I think she was a set up against
Mm-hmm.
Paolini,
Mm-hmm.
but then Paolini came back
Mm-hmm.
and basically, yeah, Schneider probably was she not probably she was in a position to win that match, but the way things turned, she allowed the crowd to basically get into her head, and that is what basically threw her off. But for
Okay.
me, I did not like, and I don't like it when, and this isn't just an Italian thing. This is a thing that does happen occasionally. To be fair, never in Great Britain or the UK. So shouts out to us here because we have manners and respect. But like when an opponent is losing and down real bad,
Yeah.
like you do often get if they're playing a player that's from that country,
Yeah.
they're going to be like overboard with the support and like
Of
literally
course.
cheering errors. Like I hate that, and especially when it's a young player as well. And maybe it's also too because she's a young girl. Like I do maybe feel it a bit more. Call me whatever. Like, but I didn't like the optics of it. I'm sorry, and that's why I tweeted what I tweeted.
The reason why I made that face is because I'm not gonna lie, yeah. When I was in Madrid, I did cap on some errors.
For who?
Um, uh, rude.
Oh, really? Lucy,
To
Skull.
my to my
No
defense,
decorum.
the vodka lemonade was hitting a little. You know what I mean? Like, no, no, no. But okay, I get what you mean. Like, funny enough, shout out to Christian, he did a TikTok talking about the Rome crowd because people but that same match, funny enough, and then he included other matches that have happened in Italy. And I left a comment and I basically said that in all honesty, I would take the rowdy, loud, whatever crowd over the clap crowd, and I put in brackets minus the offensive comments, of course.
Yeah.
Um, I get what you mean in terms of like, yeah, she's a young player, like, people should be, blah, blah, but Eugene, like, sports brings out the emotions
No,
in us that is serious. Like, and I
definitely.
and I think that's why I love again. I love when I watch other sports, I love more of like the environment around the way the fans are acting. You see it in football, you see it in basketball, you see it in baseball, you see it in so many different sports. Tennis is too it's too chaotic, it's too vibrant for it to have the image of clap and be quiet. To me, in all honesty, Eugene, cheering in someone's errors to me is not a big deal. I'm so sorry. It is what it is. You're rooting for the other opponent. I think for me, when there's a problem, is when like offensive things are being said.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't remember which player, but it was an Asian player who tweeted. I don't know if you did you see it?
During Rome,
Huh?
during Rome,
Not this round, before. One player tweeted about how they had to deal with like racist comments from the Italians
really, okay.
playing there. So
Because what not sorry to cut you well, racism in Italy. I know, obviously, being a football fan, racism is a thing in Serie A. A lot of black players from back in the day, I say back in the day, as
even now,
this is what I'm saying, Lucy. That's a thing. I mean, there haven't been in that many high profile stories as of late,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
very recently there have been, and
Mhm.
it's a horrible thing to go through. So that does
Exactly.
not surprise me at all.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying I'm here for the offensive comments
Yeah,
and what
yeah.
blah blah, but I am not here for the whole like it's too much, it's too rowdy, and people like this is not football. It should be like football. If you guys want this sport to grow, if you because the whole quietness I think is what turns people off from tennis,
That no,
and is
that
what
that's
made
yeah.
and it's what make people think that tennis is one like very quiet, calm. I think that when I explain the tennis drama to my friends, like they're like, Ross, is this what happening in tennis? And I'm like, yeah, man. Don't let the bougie rich people fool you. This sport is bloody chaotic. It makes no sense. So I hear it. It's unfortunate that that happened to Schneider and stuff to a point where it did affect her emotionally. It is unfortunate, and everyone is different. Do you get what I mean? Like if I was a tennis player, maybe I'd have been the same. I'm a sensitive girl myself, but as a fan, it's like it is what it is. So I hope that she works on it because it will happen.
Yeah, no, definitely,
It
definitely.
will it will happen. It will keep on happening, and you have some players who like it. There a lot of the American players they're here for it. Even when they're against them, Medvedev, it fills him up. Even Coco, there's been times where it filled her up.
I'd
And
say for Coco, she kind of gave that like well the Zheng King Wen match when she won. There was like a lot of like I was like, yeah, Coco, you talk your shit.
this my shit.
You talk your shit.
It is
And
her
and
shit.
and on the players as well, kind of giving it back. I think it was Jakub Mensik. Forgot who he was
Yeah,
playing, but yeah, he definitely was having some verbals with some of the people that were sat behind him.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think he won that match as well, which was
Exactly. See, I feel
yeah.
like something like that, if a player has turns right and gets to you, I feel like you talks to you, I feel like the official should actually come and take the people out. Like,
Do you remember
sorry.
Dennis Shapovalov? I can't remember what year it was, but the crowd are getting at him because he was like basically
And it
having
was in
a
Rome.
and
And he was like, shut up.
that's one of the funniest moments in ATP Tour history.
The Italian
Um,
crowd is not for the
only
weak,
in Rome,
bro. It's not for
crazy.
the weak, but they're very excited. Is it? And
Mm.
funny enough, I remember last year, Wimbledon, who were the most excited reporters? the
Oh, the media.
Italians.
You always go back to the Italian media.
Nah,
Yeah.
they cracked me up. They did not care. They were like, forget about the rules, bro. We are here for our people. Like, that is how invested they are into it. Like, they
Yeah.
were not playing. Whenever I was going to go watch a Paolini match, they were taking up the whole space. If I knew I was watching a Paolini match, I knew I had to be there from early.
Early.
Or everyone pulled up for the girl. So they really they're not just doing it just for the sake of it. They're really into it. They want their people to win. And it makes sense. Like it brings the excitement, but it is what it is. It's unfortunate that it got to Shida. I hope that she feels better and I hope that she learns from it. And I hope it fills her up so that next time she's there, she wins, she puts up her middle finger and, moves on. But hi, guys. This is just a quick break. If you are enjoying our show and our podcast, please make sure to leave a review and rate our show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other DSPs. This will help us to reach a wider audience just like you and get a lot more listeners so we can keep on building our community and give you these great podcasts as well.
And if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe.
And as you can see here, our beautiful merch. Make sure you go on Black Spin Global Podcast to cop our merch. This actually helps us fund this platform to keep on giving you these podcasts and most importantly, to attend to the tournaments. And now we'll head back to the show. Thank you again for listening and tuning in. A big congrats to the ladies, man. The final was great. How do you feel about Coco now?
Yeah, I mean, with Coco, I think she's in a great place, and also I think people maybe overlook the fact that she reached two clay court finals. Like to go back to back on any surface is tough, but on clay that is a proper effort, and that takes some doing. So I hope she sounded pretty upbeat afterwards, and so she should be, even though yes she lost. But she played good tennis like throughout Rome. I thought obviously she looked amazing as well in that New Balance collaboration. She looked absolutely stunning.
Oh, that's one thing.
Um,
Oh, I am so glad that she made it far. I was like, yeah, she knew
yeah,
not to
yeah.
waste that Miu Miu collection,
Literally went
girl.
all got to the final. I mean, she did the job. She got to the final. That was what she was meant to do. Um, we have to talk about Victoria and Buko as well. That match. Wow. We didn't speak about it, did we? We
No,
previewed it.
because the day that we recorded, I think was the day that the match was on, or was going to be the day
Yeah,
after, something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
But Mbuku, like what a way to show that like basically I'm coming. Like she's got all the weapons, man. It was so good to see. And honestly, I was not expecting it to go to 3 sets, but at the same time, I was like, you know what, good for you for pushing Coco all the way. Like,
I wasn't too surprised.
really,
I
okay.
wasn't too surprised. Yeah, I wasn't too surprised. Because again, like I said, one thing that she's always been vocal about is facing top players.
Yeah, she got that.
And she got that. And I think she's more motivated doing that. Like the fact that she had that mentality before even like when the season started, just shows to you that yeah, when it's like the big dogs, I'm gonna do it. And in that match, again, all she showed is that she just needs more time.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Coco's way more experienced than her. Um, and that's honestly that was just it. Like she rattles everyone. All that girl needs to do is just to keep on playing. And speaking about her, a massive shout out to her. She did get all the way to like
Oh, the final.
the
The one was it the
final.
125?
Yeah, 125 in Parma, but she lost to Maya Sheriff, which I knew was going to be a tough one. But yeah, like no, she played well that tournament. Like she literally even bageled the second seed, Wang Xingyu. I don't know if
Yeah,
I'm
the
pronouncing.
Chinese. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So she's on a she's on a good run. She's on a very good run. I think she's playing qualifiers
The
Tuesday, yeah,
French. Yeah.
for the French Open. So fingers crossed she gets that through. But that match was great. It was just nice. I was just smiling. I was just like this
So I'm
watching it.
saying, Lucy, man, what a moment.
What a moment. Two black, dark-skinned women playing tennis and playing good tennis. And
Mm.
it's not the Williams sisters as well. Like, is their legacy just passing on. It's 2025, but we're seeing another set woman. Let me tell you something. Victoria, yeah, she is going to be a problem. I actually cannot wait. God, tennis gods, please keep her nice and injury free
It's gonna happen, definitely.
because we need her. She's an all-around player
She's
and
cracking top 100 this year.
she's doing
Mm.
some big things, and you can see that even Coco was a pretty. And I think that's what I like the most. Anytime she plays a top player, even the top players are like, "Yeah, I need to rate you still. I need to rate you, yeah, and I don't want to face you again. I need to rate you still because Coco looked tired at the end of that
It
match.
was a nice moment as well at the net. Coco was like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
keep going, okay." Like
uh,
you can see she meant that as well,
yeah.
and Buku received it well.
She received. Do you know what? I feel like Booker was. She's very competitive, and I feel like she's like, yeah, thank you, but next time I'm coming, which I like. Is a nice, easy, competition and stuff between them two. So yeah, that was a really nice match. So shout out to the ladies. I think
What,
for me,
what
go
about
on.
Coco, Raducanu, and Draver? Like basically sweet ball. She just completely outplayed Raducanu completely.
Yeah, no, no,
I think
she,
she
she,
lost like three
she,
games.
yeah, and it's funny because I was like, yeah, like I want that for vibes. And
But
boy,
Raducanu though, she's playing some good tennis. She's playing some very good tennis. Like,
listen.
but obviously the level is
I'm not
just
gonna
like
lie. I did not think that she will make it to the round of 16 for Rome Open,
really,
so I give it to her. She's pretty good in clay, to be honest. I feel like
yeah.
clay season. There's been some tournaments where she's done pretty well. So yeah, she did well. The Andreeva match. Do you know what I find funny is that she played Andreeva for quarterfinals, right? I was not shook at all.
No, but she's never lost her, has she?
This is my thing. I always tell. I think I tweeted this on my personal account. When Coco has to face like what was I gonna how can I say this? Basically, I think a lot of people tend to forget that Coco is actually really young. She's only 21. And a lot of the players that she's like competing with like at a higher level
I'm older, yeah.
are older. So when she's facing like younger players, a lot of time Coco actually does beat them because yeah, we're age mates, but we're not mates. There's a level to this. So, and for me, I'm not too surprised with the fact that she whooped Andreeva quickly, especially again on clay. It's not
Yeah.
like,
I wouldn't say it wasn't I mean, it was straight sets, but the second set was a tie break. So it wasn't like a complete like but no, I
and
think
respectfully,
yeah, I
respectfully,
think for
like
Andreeva that is definitely a mental thing. Like there's I don't want to say mental block, but yeah, the head to head maybe does play a part in that, in the fact that she's
she.
never beaten her before.
But the things as well, she needs a little bit more time. Like this
And
year's the
exactly, she's
year
only
when she,
18. Yeah.
yeah, this is the year that she's starting to get out there and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, I'm not too fussed about it. But when it comes to whenever Coco faces a player that's like younger than her, I don't get too scared because I'm like, yeah, they don't have your level. Like
Yeah.
you are who you are, and you're only 21. So yeah, I mean, in all honesty, Coco's run was absolutely, it was great. It was honestly great. She had some pretty, really tough opponent. Like she had Lynette, she had Mabuka, she had Raducanu, she had Andreeva. We need to talk about that semi-final match.
Absolute
That
marathon.
match just did not want to end against Qin Wenzheng. 3 hours and 30 minutes. Anytime you think, yeah, this is going to end, something happens. But that match proved to us, and that is why I really thought she was going to lift that title today. I mean, yesterday, sorry. That match really proved to us that Coco's mental was different. She was down so many. The second she was down, she had like a complete switch. It was crazy. It was either she had to um literally just hit like big serve or hit more winners or defend better. Like she had the tools whenever it was time for her to save it.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate she couldn't have that for the final, but for that semi-final she did that.
I don't think anyone held serve in the second set. I think they just kept breaking each other in the second set.
Each
Um,
time, and it
but
and it was exciting.
that's the set that Zheng won, and then it carried on into the third. Zheng was up a break in that third set, and then, like you
Yep.
said, Coco then just kind of switched on, and then it was, I think it got to like 5-all, and then
Tie break.
yeah, she had to serve to basically stay in the match. She held, and then it went to the tiebreak.
Yeah.
And then in that tiebreak, I never count Coco out in a tiebreak because
Mm.
I just feel like there's just something about her like competitiveness, just I don't know, it just comes out like when it needs to. I know it didn't happen in the final against Paolini, but I just feel there are a lot more factors at play in that final, and I feel like Paolini being the home player and the crowd that definitely played into it. And not to kind of go back again, but Coco was in the final of the doubles in Rome last year. Do you remember?
Yeah.
What who she was playing with though? That's bad. Was it Siniakova? I think she was playing. Was it Siniakova?
I can't remember top of my head, but yeah, go
But
on.
yeah, they played Paolini and Irani. Obviously, Paolini and Irani won. And I
Hmm.
remember Coco saying during the speech that basically she's happy for Paolini and Irani because obviously they're the home crowd. They've got the home crowd behind them. And she was like, "Oh, I know how it feels to have the home crowd behind you and you win a big title." Because obviously that was the year after she won the US
US
Open.
Open.
So I just thought like, yeah, that is definitely significant. Like the crowd play a massive part, especially when you're at home. Like, and we saw with Paolini, like it energized her, like in a lot of these matches. So that's why for me, the final, yes, it was surprising in terms of like how well Paolini played, and she was solid throughout, as we've spoken about. But I wasn't like, it wasn't a thing where I was thinking to myself, "Oh, Coco, like what's going on?" Like, no, there's nothing to panic about, or there's nothing to be
I
worried about. Like,
I think I would have been worried if it was a thing where Paolini did not play her best.
exactly,
The fact that that's the thing, Paolini actually played like, listen,
yeah.
I want that title. Like, this is mine. You're in my house. You're in my home. I'm doing this. And this
And
is, and also this was Paolini's first tournament after such a successful run. Because, she had, I mean, I'm talking about like RG, Wimbledon, the
oh, okay,
Olympics.
as in yeah.
Yeah,
Multiple finals.
all of that has happened, and it's like she's home. So it was that she definitely, and I said it even before myself, like aside from her errors, and then no, sorry, what I was saying was I was trying to explain on the TikTok that I made was like in the other matches, one of the things that really did help her was, of course, the support and everything from the crowd.
Mhm,
And she took more of that when she was there in the final. And you have to, like, why
definitely.
not? It's either you're going to let that get into your head, like, oh my gosh, there's so much pressure. You have all these big people coming to the tournament. Oh, Italy, we haven't had anyone in Italy winning this and da 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 da.
The
Oh,
first Italian woman in 40 years.
crazy, crazy. And that's what I'm saying. It's really nice seeing these type of
Yeah.
things. So either way, a massive shout out to both of the women, the finals. Again, in all honesty, that women's final was way better than the men's final.
No comment, man. No comment. Alcaraz, he
What
did
I'm
his thing in that
saying.
second set. Damn.
Hey yo,
I thought he was gonna bagel. I thought he was gonna bagel the boy.
he whooped his ass. That was 4K certified 100% ass whooping. So yeah, a massive shout out to the ladies, a massive shout out to Carlos Alcaraz, who's won every big title on clay. Um, what I like about that is that he admitted that he felt so much pressure going into clay season, before the clay season, sorry, because of Yannick Sinner not being there. He was keeping an eye on the ranking and he came into clay and was like, I'm relaxed. And look what it does. Look what it does when you don't put so much pressure on
Yeah,
yourself.
just play free. It's
Play
easier said than done
free.
though, Lucy,
It's
man.
easier said, no, 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 no. Easier said, but I'm just,
Yeah.
no, I'm saying it as in a way, it's like, I hope, and I hope that a lot of players look
No,
at
I
both
know. Yeah.
Paolini and Alcaraz and see, like, when you're able to put that pressure off, look what you can do. Look what because even Coco, she was showing that anytime she was sure and confident and she was not thinking too much, she was hitting amazing shots. Mind you, she even hit more winners in that final, by the way, as well. Like, it was interesting how Paolini was more in control, but Coco was still finding a way and hitting mad winners as well, which was great to see. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I hope
Also,
players see both of them and just be like, yeah, when I'm able to play as free, I hope I can do that.
we've got to talk about the rankings as well. So now
Hey,
Coco's the new world number two, back to her career high. And yeah, Paolini now she's the world number four. That's also her career high. Well, I think she reached number four last year as well. So
yeah.
incredible, like the fact that it just shows like the game is so I say topsy turvy. They are very consistent. Like they are established top five players, and now this shows. So Paolini overtakes Schwantek.
She sure does.
What
And
did
before
you?
you say anything, Eugene, I just want to say, guys, you guys, I said that I was doing the most. I was yapping when I said that it's looking spooky for Eager this year. Just know that I will send you my private details so you can
Oh,
send me a
stop it.
handwritten apology and know that I don't just yap. I yap a lot, but I state facts. But yeah, she is now well number five. Um, she's already in RG practicing. They posted a video of her
Yeah, I
practicing.
saw.
She's
I was
like,
fully
"I,
congratulating it.
you guys here are doing too much right now. You can't be rattling me." So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Her draw is going to be very interesting. Do you think that Iga Swiatek will be able to defend her title?
It's not looking likely, is it? I'll say that much. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be
And
a long
I
one.
just feel like, yeah, I feel like Coco is playing too well. I feel like Paolini's playing too well. Like
Sabalenka.
Sabalenka, yeah, she lost in the semi final.
No,
Semi,
she
no,
lost
she
in
lost in
the
the quarter.
quarters. It was Kim
Yeah,
Wen-zhang who took her
exactly,
out. And
exactly.
I feel like that was just mainly fatigue. Like, bro, she's been on crazy smoke. She's been back to back. Is enough, Sabalenka. Thank you.
Hence why,
We
and
know.
again, to go back to Coco, Coco reached the final in Madrid, and like you said, that is takes a lot of effort.
It
So
does.
the fact that Sabalenka, the Madrid finalist, dropped out in the last state, it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, yeah, she couldn't go anymore. Like she was out of like energy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think the rankings definitely like it's looking interesting because
It
now to
is.
see Iga Swiatek at number five, like I mean, for how long was she number one for? Like for so long.
It just shows to you that, bro, in this tennis world, anything can happen. You can be number one on RAM, but when people are tired of you, they gonna come for your ass. They gonna do that.
Do you know who I'm really worried about though, Lucy? And I don't want to
Who?
like go off on a tangent or say go off on one, but yeah, Alina we're back in her, man. Like I don't know what's going on with her, man.
Respectfully,
And I actually feel like I feel bad for her, honestly. Yeah. Wow. Maybe edit that out.
I'm not editing. I'm not editing. First of all, I'm too tired to even be too much editing. I'm not editing now. The reason why I'm making this face is because, listen, her situation is quite hard because we don't know. We know what has happened, but we still don't. Only her and that coach of hers and God knows really what is happening in there. But she had Eugene. She had the opportunity to switch things around. You literally had Novak Djokovic's old coach, and you still said, well, to be fair, I think it was more him. He was like, this is too much drama.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
even that, you still had access to him, right? People who were not even fan of her like that were excited for her for that partnership this season. Even me, I was like, oh my goodness, bring me Wimbledon right now. Let me see what this girl can do. It was so exciting. So she had the opportunity to do what she had to do. Unfortunately, I feel like everything that's happened between her and her coach and that incident has done too much. It's done too
Mm.
much. So I get what you mean. As a fan of a sport, fan of the tennis, fan of her tennis, it is
That's what I'm saying,
unfortunate.
man.
But hey, listen, she while she's doing that, our top fives are working up there.
Crazy. Yeah, because now she's like number 12, I think, in the
That
world.
is
Like
that is
just
crazy.
nuts. Like what well, she dropped out of the top 10. That's mad to think. But
It is what it is, man. But yeah, are there any other Rome highlights for you? Like, what?
on the men's side, I mean Artifice. So he reached the third round, or round of 16, sorry. So
Yeah,
the match against Tsitsipas was quite interesting.
What did you? Oh, yeah.
because
Okay.
he lost the first set. He won it in
Mm.
3 sets basically. Those type the grinding out a win in 3 sets, which you hate, but I love. But yeah, at the end there was like this kind of commotion. I am not 100% sure like what the issue was.
So basically,
Hit a body
Cis,
shot
no, City Pass hit a body shot
at Feast.
at Feast, and but City Pass obviously apologized, whatever, blah blah blah. But I think there was probably a little bit of tension or whatnot, and then at the net, I think Feast addressed that, but I got the vibe of Sissipas did not really like the way he addressed it. Like probably one. Listen, ask your Feast. Yeah, he's not here to play. When he's very direct and he's very like I don't know. We couldn't hear what they actually
Yeah.
said, but obviously, I think Sissipas took it as like a whoa. You're being too I don't want to say the vocabulary, but they like to use the vocabulary to describe us. Um, Aggressive with it, like calm down, body shots are, part of it. So yes, I think Fee's just addressed him like, bro, like what was that body shot about? Just like some little competition. Like it is what it is, isn't it? Like
Lucy, I'm not even sure that was the case because
you don't
I
think
think
so?
no, because I think the crowd basically made it into a bigger thing than it actually was. And I think Feast, to his
No,
credit,
the
kind of
the umpire even came down to
that's
separate
what I'm
them.
saying. But I'm saying as in the body shot. So when the body shot happened, I think the crowd were like, ooh, and then like it kind of like were basically
Mm.
blowing it out of proportion when a body shot in tennis is a
It's
completely legal shot. Like,
exactly.
and it happens quite often. Although, yeah, here and there. But Feast tried to explain at the end, or he did explain, not try to, he did explain. He said, listen, he used that as like fuel to kind of G him up for the match because he said at that point he was losing. So he said
Hmm.
that kind of allowed him to reset. And he said he just used it to basically allow him to kind of like push through and basically and ultimately win the match.
Yeah.
So I think even he was trying to like diffuse the situation as well to say, listen, there's no issue between him and Tsitsipas, which there isn't. And
Hmm.
I feel like with Tsitsipas too, like again, he doesn't know how to kind of deal with like he's not the best in terms of like its social. So it's gonna sound crazy, but
I
yeah,
get what
like
you mean.
it, you know when you want to diffuse the situation. I feel like Tsitsipas was trying to do that, but then
It came out like he was
exactly,
trying to little boy him. That
exactly, it did not
yeah.
come across properly.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But to Feast's credit, and again, we need to say it more often. Like, I mean, obviously we sing his praise a lot on this pod, but that he is not a troublemaker. Like, Feast is probably one of the most likable guys on the ATP tour. Everybody loves him, win or lose. Like, he's got such a great attitude. Like, when he loses a match, like he's not smashing. Obviously, he does smash a racket sometimes when he's playing and he's mad at himself. But like, he's not a sore loser. Like, he'll dap up the opponent, give them a hug, or which I know you don't like, but basically he's very mature like for someone so young, and that's something I really appreciate in him. And I feel that's only going to stand him in good stead, hence why he's knocking on the door of the top 10. Like,
Yeah.
so I think for anyone to say, oh, like he's too big-headed, he's too arrogant, or he's not a likable guy, like what are you watching?
I think, but that's my thing. I think the issue that people have with Feast is that he's like, you respect me and I respect you, but don't
Yeah.
think I'm good. You don't little boy me. That's the thing. Don't little boy me. If you do something mad, I'm going to speak up. I think they just expect him to be like shut up and be respectful type of thing. And whenever he does speak up, whenever he does think, and I feel like that's why a lot of people make those comments about him being arrogant or being rude or blah blah blah. So yeah, I think that situation was a thing of like I think they were both trying to resolve it, but I
Mhm.
think Tsitsipas unfortunately came across in a way of like you're trying to lil boy him, and Feast is someone where it's like nah,
Nah, we ain't doing
you're
that.
not. We're not doing that, bro. We're not doing that. But yeah, but speaking of Feast, he did unfortunately lose to Alexander Zverev the following round, which one I did not expect. Um, Actually, no, let me take that back. I
The manner
wasn't
of the
too,
defeat.
huh?
manner of the defeat, like 7-6, 6-1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think if it was at least three sets, I think,
Mm.
you know, a little bit or something. But I actually think he admitted like he was tired and everything. I wasn't mad because I was like, you know what? I want you to
Rest for the
rest your
French.
body.
Exactly. Exactly.
Rest your body. Like when I saw that he lost, I was like, you know what? It's okay.
Good.
We'll take
Yeah.
it. Because the thing is, Feast, the way he plays a type of tennis where he takes a lot in his
Yeah.
body.
A lot of
So
intensity.
a
Mm.
lot of intensity, like a lot of power, especially this season. Bro, relax, take your time, go to France, make it to the second week, you know, and everything. In the final,
You know,
if you get
he's
like
never won a match in Paris.
this is what I'm saying. Exactly. So that's why I think that's why I did not really care about him
Yeah.
losing at Rome because my focus was French. I want you to put in more energy and more like play just better when you're there. You're home and you've improved so much compared to last year. Let the French crowd see that. So I'm hoping the same way that Paolini has taken, you know, advantage of the crowd, I'm
Great
hoping
point.
that Arthur
Yeah.
Fils takes the same thing as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to him during that time. But yeah, he's been this clay season has been great for him. He's
This
lost
season's been great. He's
this
had a
season
very
is
good
great.
season.
That's true,
Yeah.
exactly. And he's lost against top
Top
players. Do you
players.
get what I
Yeah.
mean? Like having to face Carlos Alcaraz during clay season is probably the worst thing ever. So yeah, if he didn't have to face literally someone that people called the baby goat, he probably would have secured those titles either at Monte Carlo or Barcelona. So in all honesty, I'm not too mad. Speaking of Zverev, did you see that situation?
What situation?
So this was really bad. He
Oh, the encore
the
interview.
post
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and for context for those who don't understand, basically he did like a post-match interview and the journalist was basically saying how like
Tennis TV. I think it was Seb Lozier. Yeah.
yeah, and it was like, oh, you know, considering the fact that um at a master's level, you know, you've not made it as far and stuff. How does it feel like win today? And Zverev was really, really disrespectful, rude as hell to the journalist.
Mm.
Listen, I get that sometimes we get over our heads and everything. We might say things that you guys do not like, but I'm sorry. The answer that Zverev gave to that journalist, there's number one, the journalist was not actually even being disrespectful. He did point out something well, like, yeah, fair enough, you did just win a title, but you did not win a 1,000 title. And that was the point. Number one. And number two, he did not say it in a way of like, you're crap. He was just saying, hey, you did not do as well, but you're doing well here. How do you feel? Like, you don't need to be that disrespectful. Like, the same way, like, it goes both ways. You guys can't be asking for them to be nice all the time and everything, and then you guys want to come and be that disrespectful. And a massive shout out to that journalist because I'm not gonna lie, I might have whooped that microphone out in his forehead if it was me. Who are you talking to?
Chill, 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 chill,
Who are you
chill.
actually talking to? Like that is absolutely insane. He kept it cool, kept it chilled, went to the next question. But big up him because that was actually insane. Like I think the respect has to go both ways. I don't like when players are not. You see how Shelton did in a very respectful manner at the Australian Open when he was
Oh
disappointed at the
yeah,
broadcasting
yeah,
team.
yeah,
That's how you do it. You don't just come, or at least you can roll your eyes and just be like, yeah, whatever. And then when that's done, just go to the judge and be like, bro, you could have asked a better question. Because these players, listen, these players are seeing the same journalists every day. That's why Jack Draper's out here dapping Tamani, talking about
yeah.
Central C and music and stuff. They're boys now.
Oh,
Draper and
Jack.
Tamani are like one
British number
spot
one.
away from going to, you know, to the pub together at this point. The players are very familiar with a lot of the media people, broadcasters, journalists, photographers. They see the same faces the entire year.
Mm.
So that respect needs to be there. It's not just one way. It's not just us that needs to be respectful. They need to be respectful too. These journalists are working their asses off. Like they're out here staying. You guys are not the only one that's staying up late till God knows when. Hello, it is right now 10 p.m. and I have work tomorrow and I still have to edit this and wake up at 6 a.m. and 5 a.m. to train, to go to the work and to edit this and put this out. The same way these journalists are out there at these tournaments to 1, 2 a.m. making sure that they have some articles
Material,
ready.
exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
signing
So
stories.
everyone is doing their best to push this sport. So yeah, but it was unfortunate, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, Zverev, look at that. When you do something bad, God will remind you, and you did not make it as far, unfortunately. So shout out to everyone in it for Rome Open. Um,
Well said,
a
Lucy.
well way to wrap it up. Um, any other thing that you wanted to add? As you can see, guys, we really freestyled this. We had to
No,
pod,
no
man.
notes. Literally
No
no
notes.
notes. Just off all off the
Freestyle.
top.
Exactly.
No,
So yeah,
it's been a great tournament, Lucy. I'm just looking forward to the French now, man. I
I
can't wait
am.
for the Open, and I
I'm not
feel
gonna
like
lie, I wasn't really looking forward to it at the beginning, but I am now. Like I'm actually this clay season was okay. It was
I
well.
think we're going to get some very interesting results on the women's side. And when I say interesting, I just mean eager, not maybe progressing as far as maybe people would expect. And I say
Yeah.
people, I mean, the form hasn't been great. Let's just be real. But yeah, I feel like Paolini's playing great tennis. Coco, Sabalenka, Schneider. There's a lot of players out here playing what Peyton Stearns, Peyton Stearns beating back-to-back Grand Slam winners.
Yeah, that was
But
mad
then
still.
but then Paolini's beats her in straight sets. So it just shows the level Paolini's playing at. But yeah, I feel like the game's in a very good place. And yeah, shout out to Sinner coming back wearing all black. I thought that was very poignant.
That was so dramatic, but I like it. I rate it. I was like, okay, that was so dramatic.
Very poignant. But yeah,
That was so
Alcaraz as
dramatic.
well winning. So you said he's won every single
Every
major
like big title, so like obviously
on
the
clay.
1000 clay titles and
That's a
also
massive
French
achievement,
Open.
man. It's
That's
a massive
crazy.
achievement.
That is crazy. It's nice also seeing the legacy of, we say the same thing about the Williams sisters, dragging the legacy to the other black women and well, the entire tennis industry. But anyways, but we can say the same with Rafael Nadal and Alcaraz. Like
Yeah.
it's really nice to actually see that, both Spanish, both have like, although I've always said that I felt like Alcaraz has more of a playing style as Djokovic more than Nadal, but you can still see a mix of two in a way. But it's really nice to see anyways.
Also, we mentioned Stearns. She beat Osaka, Naomi Osaka, in that three
Yeah, she
setter.
did.
What a
She did.
match
She
that
did.
was, and also a good run for Osaka as well.
For
Like
sure.
she beat some good players, obviously Irani, and then Golubic, and then Bushkova. A couple of free setters in there. But again, I like where the tennis is right now for Osaka on clay because she's not shown this form before.
She's
And
not.
obviously, yes, she did lose in that tight match last year to Iga Swiatek. But I feel like the work she's done this year is going to put her in even better stead going into the French this year. So
For sure.
I'm
For
excited for
sure.
Osaka.
I think for me, honestly, my favorite match of hers was her second round. Like my favorite match of the tournament was actually just that second round. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not going to lie because that was crazy. Naomi Osaka, you did it again. You did it again. No, I'm
Six
happy
one in
for
the
her.
third.
Yeah, I'm happy for her. But yeah, actually before this is a great way to close, even though it's not really BSG thing. It's come to our attention that Novak Djokovic and Andy Murray's
Oh my
partnership is
God.
gone. With that being said, Uncle Murray, go to my boy Jack Draper, bring tennis home.
It's coming home.
If it's not gonna come to us, bring it home.
To be fair, but I mean, you should have shouted out Paulini's new coach as well, Mark Lopez.
That's
This is her
true.
first tournament or yeah, first tournament win with him.
That's true.
So
And I think she doesn't get enough credit how she was able to work so like
the
there was a lot of
transition,
change, yeah, that
exactly.
transition and stuff because she had her older coach. They were together for like eight
Yeah,
years eight
long
nine
time,
years
long
so for
time.
her having to deal with such a switch and having to deal with the fact that she's a top player now. um
Well, it's also very significant. We didn't mention it, but I did look it up. She's won three titles now, Lucy. So two WTA 1000s and a 250. And she's world number four. Like for me, that just shows the efficient work rate of someone. She's not won like multiple like tens or 20 titles. Like I mean, it's tough to win one title, but to win two at WTA 1000 level and then the one 250. Obviously, she's won I think eight or nine doubles titles, but we're talking singles. That also like it's very significant,
yeah,
and I feel like she deserves a lot of credit for just yeah, just her efforts, man. Like it's an incredible effort. And she's
Hmm.
29, like in tennis terms, like that's not super young. Like
Hmm.
you always see stats of the oldest player to, reach this round or which I'm not comfortable with those kind of stats. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. But I just feel
Even
like, yeah.
Coco's getting tired of it. For her age, she's like, oh, I thought at 21 it will stop with the youngest thing, the youngest stat. Listen, these tennis stats is enough, bro.
It's
Like
a
it's
lot. It's
actually
a
fine.
lot.
Like they'll be like the
It's
first
content
player
though, Lucy. It's
in,
content.
bro, the first player to wear red in da-da-da since Serena Williams
It's
and da-da-da-da.
content.
Like, bro, we've
It's,
heard,
but yeah,
we've
no,
heard. Do
shout
they
just
do that in football?
no, of course, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, cool. I
It's
feel
sports media, like
okay.
yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
because it's a stat, isn't it? So
Make
yeah,
make the
some people
stat
like it, some
worthy,
people hate
man.
it.
Like it's all right. Like I mean, I'm still repost it to me. But yeah, yeah, that was it was a fun tournament. Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to
Shout out
the
to Jasmine Paolini, man. She's
fellas.
the queen of Italy, like you said, the
Quick,
queen of Italy. Do you get me?
you see
Doubles
how
champ, singles champ,
look at how
Italian
greedy,
number one.
how
How many more?
greedy,
Like,
how greedy Paolini. Look at you.
we have to
Can't even
mention
take
we have to close on this.
what?
The moments with the moms. Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful, beautiful. It's very beautiful to see, especially like seeing, like, I've always said that I like seeing the black parents around. It was really nice. It was really, really
I don't
beautiful.
know if that happened after or before. Either
I
way, it's
think
special.
I
Like,
think it happened after. I think it happened after because of
oh
like the fact that
wow.
it was darker, and I think Coco took another picture with her title, and it seemed like it's
Yeah,
around the
that
same
makes
area.
sense.
So
Yeah.
I think it will make more sense after. Before, no one's chat like you're not going to speak
Yeah,
to
you're
the
right. You're right.
opponent's
You're right.
thing.
You're right.
So.
Yeah, it was most likely
I
after,
think it was
definitely.
after, but yeah, yeah, so we shall see. We'll be back soon. A
French Open preview.
quick French Open preview. We'll see how it goes. You know, the qualifying starting. Oh, big shout out to Giovanni Mipechi Pericard. I believe that he just won a challenger. Yeah, he
He
just
did.
won. Yeah, he won Challenger Bordeaux.
Go on.
Yeah, he just won that today in three sets. The final was against Nicolas Basilashvili.
Oh, the Georgian, Basilashvili. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. And then yeah, he's off to the German Open. His first round's actually against Bublik, who also won a challenger event
So
today.
he's playing Hamburg.
Yeah, he's playing
Wow.
Hamburg. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too surprised. You know, it's been a bit rocky the first couple.
Who did he lose to in Rome, Lucy? Jordan Thompson for like the third bloody time in
Yeah,
as
and
many
it
tournaments. I
was in
can't
three
stand it. He
sets.
always has to play Jordan. He nearly beat him as well because he won the first set.
Exactly. It went into three. And even that final set went into tiebreak. But yeah, it's been a bit of a rocky first couple of tournaments for Giovanni. So I'm hoping this title and the Nuremberg will also help him out. So he's trying to get some matches in, obviously, before
For
he
the French, yeah.
gets for the French. So shout out to him and a good luck to him. It's going to be interesting first round against Bublik. As I said, they both literally won a challenger event
That's
today. So
crazy. Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
Cool. But yeah, that's a nice way to finish, man. Again, shouts out to Jasmine Paolini, Jazzy. And yeah, well done to Coco too. Back to world number two. We're looking good for
Exactly.
2025.
We sure is. A massive shout out. Thank you guys for listening. Sorry if this podcast was up and down. Listen, at least we got you
No
guys
notes.
content.
No
No notes,
notes.
freestyle. You know, we're doing like Hove. We don't write the bars. We just
Off the
all
top,
right, off the
crazy.
top. All
No,
right,
but yeah,
guys.
guys, appreciate
Thank
you.
you for
Yeah,
listening.
we'll catch you next time.
Peace.